Welcome to Eye Contact. I'm Henahan. Conducting a research project is essential for developing your career in ophthalmology. Where do you start and how do you get that first project off the ground? We've asked Dr. Joséphine Behaegel to give us some tips. Welcome, Dr. Behaegel.
Thank you.
Well, a research project starts with a good idea. Where do you come up with a good idea?
Well, honestly, the idea for my very first research project didn't come from myself, but from my promoter, because at the time when I decided to focus on research, I was very new in the field of ophthalmology, and I was not really up to date about any hot topics and any research fields. I just knew what my main interest was and which direction I wanted to go to. And then I was lucky to meet a very good promoter with similar interest, and I got the chance to build on the work she had done previously. But then later on, when I was diving more and more into this research project, and when I was reading more scientific papers, more ideas came across my mind to initiate my own research projects. For example, I noticed some gaps in literature, and I have been talking with people from other disciplines, and this gave me inspiration to think a bit broader and to initiate interdisciplinary projects. I was also thinking about techniques. I was also thinking about ways in order to improve already existing techniques. So in general, talking, reading a lot, and looking for an idea that really suits your interest can really help to find a research project.
Once you have your idea, how do you develop your protocol?
Well, the protocol is really the roadmap for conducting your research. So it should contain all essential aspects of your study. And there are some good guidelines on the exact content it should provide, such as the in- and exclusion criteria, the endpoints, the data handling, the trial design. So basically, it should be the methods section for your future research paper. But it's also very important to include strategies about what to do in case of occurrence of adverse events, including how to deal with them, how to grade them, how to report them. So it's really important to give this document enough attention before you start your actual research, because that will make your research a lot easier and it will avoid repeated revisions and resubmissions later on.
So what did you learn from your early experience that would help you in subsequent research projects?
Well, my very first protocol was just not complete enough. I had to make a lot of corrections based on things that occurred during the process, and then I had to resubmit it very often. And now I try to just give it a lot of attention before I start my project.
So it's learn by doing experience.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
Very good. Finally, where does statistics fit in? You can't have a good research project without good statistics.
Yes, indeed. That's a good question, because most researchers will be tempted to just provide a pile of data in front of the statistician at the end of their project, and then they will wait until it's analyzed and provided on a silver platter. But I learned that a much better idea is to perform as much as I learned that the much better idea is to do as much as possible on your own, although I know statistics can be annoying, but in that way you really make sure that you understand what you're doing. So before I start any project, I go consult a statistician, and together we discuss my research ideas and we set up a statistical analysis plan. And then later on, I analyze my results, or at least I try to analyze my results. But when I'm stuck, I go knocking on her door to ask some help. But the statistician really fits in the first part of the project before starting the actual research, and not just at the end when you're trying to make something meaningful of your data.
That seems like a very key point. Thank you so much for talking with us.
No problem.
For more information, please visit us at Eurotimes.org.